The book of Micah 4:1. But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of Yahweh shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow unto it. And many nations shall come and say, Come and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, and to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of Yahweh from Jerusalem. And he shall judge among many people, and rebuke strong nations afar off, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more. But they shall sit every man under his vine and under his fig tree, and none shall make them afraid. For the mouth of Yahweh of hosts hath spoken it. Call Haloyim La Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rachakwadash. Peace and double honor to the apostles and others of great millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Hey, I'm coming off a long shift of work, but I was so excited through the spirit, witnessing these current events going on, which play into biblical prophecy, as you brothers that are sincere out there, you well know. As we well know, this is all prophecy, all right? And even after doing the shift, the Lord had the spirit on me to put this lesson up because it's exciting, man, you know? And normally I'll just knock out, to be honest, but it's just been, I watched Apostle Elder Tahar's video. I watched a few other brothers' videos. I've been watching videos and news articles, and it's just the excitement, the joy, the buildup of prophecy, man. It's a beautiful movie how the Lord has it set up. And, brothers are going through a lot of things, but yet we see prophecy is coming to pass. So this is the time where we got to dig deep. All right. And continue on in this thing, man. All right, hold on to this truth, because this is life. This is everlasting life. But again, going back to Micah 4:1, I read Micah 4:1 through 4. All right, going back to the topic. All right, this is going into what is going to happen when the kingdom of heaven, all right, which is the nation of Israel, is established on the earth. And the header here says the future kingdom of Messiah. And it's also mentioned in Isaiah, the 2nd chapter. All right, but I read it from Micah, the 4th chapter, because it's mentioned again. All right, so in the last days it shall come to pass. Okay, so that means that in the last days, this is a future prophecy that will happen, right? That the mountain of the house of Yahweh shall be established in the top of the mountain. So the mountain of the house of Yahweh, which is who? The Israelites, the kingdom. All right, starting with the elect. Okay. And it says, it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow unto it. Meaning what? In the scriptures, mountains, all right, are described as or rulerships are described as mountains. All right, smaller governments are described as hills, and so on and so forth. So it says that this, all right, this will be established above the other mountains, the other heathen nations, and there's those set up. This kingdom that's coming is going to be over them. Now, they try to emulate or mimic that in the land of Israel right now, but they're failing miserably. All right, because it says that what? People shall flow unto it, meaning the heathen nations are going to come to us in the future, in the near future, when this comes to pass, and they're going to learn the ways of righteousness from us. Okay? If the heathen nations were to go to the land of Israel right now, what would they learn? How to be a sodomite, how to be wicked, how to be an idolater. All right. The fact that you even have, all these other different religions, and how would that possibly be when the true Israelites are returned to the land? All right. You're going to be serving the Most High God and the Most High God only, and no idolatry is going to be allowed in the land of Israel once we return. All right. So how is it that you can't even keep, how is it that you can't even keep the heathen in check? You know, obviously, I know Esau is the lowest of the heathen, but he's claiming to be the people. So if you're the people, the real people of God would be able to keep the heathen round about them in check, and you can't do that. So that proves that you're not the people, man. If they can come in and run up on you and attack you with these carnal means, what does that say about you as as the so-called people of God that you're not? Okay. And many nations shall come and say, come and let us go up to the mountain of Yahweh and to the house of the God of Jacob, which is who? Who's that? Who's going to be the house of Jacob, the house of David? All right. Which is the elect, starting with the elect of the nation of Israel. We're going to be perfect. We're going to be walking, living, breathing embodiments of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah's perfection in the world to come. We're going to be immortal. We're going to live forever. And the law is going to emanate. It's going to vibrate out from Israel, starting with our Lord Yahweh Shai. All right. And he's going to put that new covenant in us to where the heathen nations, they're going to come and learn about righteousness from us. If they go to these cities in the state of Israel right now, because this is not the nation of Israel, this is a state that was established by the nation of Edom. And we're going to get that scripture too in Ezekiel 36. All right. If they go to you, what are they going to learn? They're not going to learn righteousness. Okay. So that proves it, man. It says, and he will teach us of his ways and we will walk in his paths. Are those so-called Arabs, are they coming to you and saying, oh, teach us the ways of righteousness? No, they're not. They're coming and fighting against you, which is revealing that you're not the people according to prophecy, man. And this is why a lot of small hats now, they come out and say, what? Oh, well, we don't even have to subscribe to the Bible no more. That's just a loose book of ideas. But here it is. You want to be the Jews. Where's the concept of a Jew, which is short for Judah, originate from? The Holy Scriptures, man. the nerve and the audacity, the absolute foolish pride of the so-called white man, of Esau, especially of Amalek, man. And it's clear and plain as day who Amalek is, man. It's you small hatters, you that are living in the land of Israel claiming to be the Jews. Okay? And it says, he shall judge among many people and rebuke strong nations afar off, and they shall beat their swords in the plowshare. So how is it that beating the swords in the plowshares and beating the spears and the pruning hooks represents taking resources away from war and putting it towards agriculture, putting it towards feeding your people? What are you doing right now? You're at war. You just declared that they're at war with Hamas. Okay, which that's been an ongoing thing. All right. And then they go and rain down death on those Palestinians all the time. Nobody gives a shit, man. But why does it matter when it happens to Esau? Because he's Cain. And he has that mark of exemption because the Lord is separating him for judgment in the end. All right. This is the so-called white man. You can't say it, do anything again, especially against the so-called Jew. All right, which you are not the Jews, man. The Jew is short for Judah again, and that would be the so-called American black man. It's plain as day. Okay, you lied, you stole a heritage that doesn't belong to you, and now you're gonna pay for it. Now you're in the land, and now a whole bunch of horrible things about to start happening to y'all. All right, and all you stupid ass Christians that pray for Israel, pray for Israel. You should be praying for the real Israel, which is the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. We go through shit every day, man. You know, we're oppressed, destroyed. Our people are in a lower state, and here you are praying for a state that gets billions of dollars in aid from America. Billions, hundreds of billions, man. Why? Because really, the state of Israel, which is Amalek, those people, they run America. Okay, they run the U.S. government. Okay, that's the ones that are ruling the earth right now. Basically, that is the tribe that's ruling the earth. Okay. But here it is, a so-called Jake Christian. Here it is, you catching hell here in America. You got to work 2 and 3 jobs, and you still on the edge of starvation and homelessness. But you want to talk about some pray for Israel, man. Them people don't give a fuck about you. They hate you. Okay. And they stole your heritage. And the everyday is so-called Israeli might not know. Um, even though this knowledge is going out more and more. All right. Look at the whole Kanye West thing, the whole Kyrie Irving thing. So the knowledge of who the real Israelites are is going out. The everyday peon in Israel might not know that they are Edomites, but their elites, their leaders know. They know that the so-called that the real Jews are the so-called black men in America. All right. All right. Also under the banner would be the so-called West Indian and Haitian, because that was the Southern Kingdom, which was known as the Kingdom of Judah. All right. So when they so anybody and all those the tribes that remained in the land would all be basic that was following the custom would all be basically considered Jews, although they were not necessarily all the tribe of Judah. All right. Apostle Paul is of the tribe of Benjamin, but he would be under the banner of a Jew back then. Why? Because that was short for the kingdom of Judah. It was known as a kingdom that you were from, Judea. Okay. All right. But the point is that ain't you. All right. And the fact that these heathen, all right, can come in the land and be doing this and coming up against you shows that you are not the people of God, man. Because it would not be happening when the real Israelites come back to the land. It's going to be in a glorious fashion. It's going to be no denying, oh, is this the people? It's not going to be a group. Imagine in our kingdom somebody coming up against us and saying we're not the Israelites. Hey, we're going to have spiritual power. It's not going to be a question because it's going to be manifest. Anybody that even dares to say it is going to just look stupid off the rip. But the fact that you can have you can be in this position of power, all right, and people can be questioning, and it's a shakiness, and now the word is out, and I would say there's a lot more people that understand and know that you are not the Jews than those that still believe that you are. And even if that's not the case, the tide is turning every day more so to where people are understanding that you're not the Jews. Okay, it's only a matter of time until everybody figures out, the whole world figures out your damn lie. All right. Well, it says that he shall judge among many people and rebuke the nations afar off. You rebuke strong nations afar off. And that's going to happen when Yahweh Shai comes back. He's going to put the nations in order with the rod of iron. All right. All right. So it says, I'm going to read the fourth verse, but they shall sit every man. Oh, Slaki, I want to read the end of the third verse. It says, neither shall they learn war anymore. So if you're sitting here blatantly admitting that you're preparing for war, that indicates what? That you are not the people of God, because when they return to the land, there would be no more war. All right. It says, but they shall sit every man under his vine and under his fig tree, and none shall make them afraid. But here it is. You're being terrorized, right? The terror groups. If you're the people of God, you're going to be immortal. Nobody's going to be able to step to you, just like in King David's time. When we were in the seat of our power back then, none of the heathen nations could step to us, man. All right. None of them could make us afraid. All right. King David was running all over them Philistines, man. Okay. It says, and none shall make them afraid, for the mouth of Yahweh of hosts have spoken it. You see? So it's being manifested that you are not the people of God, man. You are not the Israelites, and it's becoming more common knowledge. All right. Ezekiel 36. And in fact, when they first in 1948 declared a state of Israel, right? They went to war automatically with Egypt. All right, because those Arabs, they know that you're not the people, man. And they try to say that the Palestinians, well, this was their indigenous land. Well, they don't belong there either. The land belongs to the real Israelites, which is the so-called Black, Latino, and Native American. All right, and those of the diaspora scattered abroad into all the different nations of the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But you do have Israelites among those Palestinians. All right, but the so-called Arab is not. Hey, the land don't belong to them. It belongs to the Israelites, man. The real Israelites, not those fake flunkies, man. Ezekiel 36:5. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea. See, and that's talking about Edom, okay, which have appointed my land unto their possession with the joy of all their heart, with the spiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. You see, so they want to appoint the land into their possession, and this is what they have done. They have appointed the land into their possession. Okay. Okay, but that's why the Lord is going to speak in the fire of his jealousy, man. He's jealous over his people for what you've done. Okay, and it's what a beautiful time it is to be alive, and to be in this truth and to witness what is happening before our very eyes, man. Go ahead and grab this real quick. This is the book of Habakkuk 2 and 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower. Right. So we're watching now. We're on that tower. That's why when these things happen, when these things transpire, we get very excited because it's an indication of where we're at. Now we know that there's other prophecy that has to come to pass, which is the mandatory implementation of the mark of the beast, which is the microchip. All right, and until that happens, this Armageddon and deliverance of our Lord Yahweh Shai is not going to come until that happens. But we see it's all culminating together. It's all happening simultaneously. It's not like you could separate the two, because it's really, when you look at it, it's like a crescendo and it's all going on at the same time. Just because the wars is going, so now the mark of the beast prophecy pause. No, it's both happening at the same time. They're both going up. And the more we continuously focusing on prophecy, and we're seeing that, okay, now the war drums are beating. Now the economic woes are coming, which is going to lead into the charagma, which is the Greek way of saying mark in the scriptures. Okay, which is that piercing, that physical stamp. All right, when you look into the Greek of charagma, the word there for mark. All right, for the mark of the beast, right? So it's all increasing little by little. Okay, so it says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower and will watch to see what he was saying to me and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And it says, and Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables that he may run that readeth it. See, and when a messenger would get a great, and that's what it is to be an apostle, is to be sent forth. You see? So again, it says that he may run that readeth it. So those that read this prophecy that had been given the spirit of the Lord, they're going to run. They're going to take the message and run with it. All right, they're going to spread the message. Okay, it says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. So now the vision is, the appointed time is here. We were not just going to be out here for ever, for centuries and centuries, just speaking the word and nothing happening. All right, so things are popping off and it's getting very dicey out here, man. And it's beautiful to see these times. Again, finishing up, it says, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So now we're at the time where it is not tarrying, it is not delaying, and it's happening quickly, man. And the more the war drums are beaten, all right, now you're seeing the alliances. Now we're seeing that it wasn't just Hamas versus Israel. This is Hamas, Iran, Russia, all of the big players in World War III. Remember, the least of the flock shall draw them out, which is talking about the 48ers, the small hats. Okay, so they are going to cause this war to happen because they are the ones that have been the aggressor. Even when you look at Ukraine, a lot of the weapons that the Ukrainians were using came from Israel. All right. So Russia already knows that you are at their doorstep. They know that the main problem, their main enemy is the 48er, the small hat. Okay. They know that. So that's why they're allied up with the ones that are against everybody that's against Israel is allied up together, which is the majority of the Arab world, which is connected to Russia, which is connected to China, and there you have it, man. Okay, but that's a major, and Iran they're over there praising or talking, praising that attack and talking about how they're going to bring destruction to America. So we bring this out, and we've been speaking about this. This is prophetic because these nations are going to, and they're saying that Iran is super close to getting a nuclear weapon. And if they get a nuclear weapon, the Saudis already said that they're going to want a nuclear weapon. So listen, man, it's going to go down. It's going to go down. Armageddon is going to happen. The missiles are going to fly, and only the elect will be delivered from the destruction to come. So with that, call halal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Machakodash, Shalom, Mabarakathama to the hopeful elect. Lord's will, I catch y'all on the next lesson. Shalom.